So, hi my dear students, my name is Ujjwal Kumar Pandey, and today I will discuss some important questions which is related to physics, chemistry and biology. So, as you know that in our syllabus, that is work and energy is coming in our examination. So, first of all, let's see some important things which will play an important role in the examinations. So, try to understand. So, I will provide some topics. So, the first thing is that work. Suppose that in examination the question will arise from these terms. If what do you mean by work? So first of all, try to understand work. So simply we can define the definition of work is the product of force and displacement is termed as work. So the most of the questions will arise from this definition. Suppose that the question will arise like that कि work का क्वेश्चन फिलअप के बेसिस पे रहेगा. सपोज दैट कि क्वेश्चन ऐसे आ सकता है कि द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ फोर्स एंड डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज गैप. So what is the answer of that question? So we can easily write the answer work, because work means what? The product of force and displacement is known as work. And the second thing is, sometimes the question will arise from the SI unit. So what is the SI unit of work? So as we know that the SI unit of work is joule, Joule, joule. Okay, so right, and like that you can explain and you can give the answer of SI units of work. And the second term which is related to the work, that is, you can show the work is done with the help of figure, with the help of experiment. So here we people can explain about the works with the help of some theoretical sections also, and with the help of figure also. You can explain like that. Suppose that when an object of mass m and a force F is applied on that object, and after the appliance of force, that objects will displace from initial positions to the final position. Means they will change their position from initial to final. So we can say that if we people can apply the force on any objects, and if it will get displaced, so here we can say that the work is done. And in some cases, suppose that we people can apply the force on wall, so here we can say the value of work is 0. Why? Because when we will go in the senior classes, then there you can learn about the work. The formula of work is Fs cos theta. Okay, so in that case, when we people can apply the force, so here the theta will play also an important role. But according to your class, the mostly the question will arise from these terms ki what do you mean by work and what is the assignment of work according to the class 6. And the second important term, because this is the revision section of your class, so here we can peoples cover the important topics which will come in the examination. So the second term is electric current. Suppose that in examination, if the term electric current will ask in the examination, so how can we define them? So you people can define like that, the flow of charge per unit time. Suppose that when a charge Q is flow in a wire with respect to, means in unit time, so if you will try to find the ratio of that term, then that is the value of I, electric current. So here we can say that the electric current is represented by I, and generally the formula is I equals to Q by T. So see here, so in the case of electric current, how can we write the formula? So see here, suppose that the most of the formula will comes like that, I equals to Q by T. Okay, so why here we can say that Q is the charge, Q is charge, and T is time, T is time. Okay, And the second thing is that ki I means what do you mean by I? So I is the electric current. I is the electric current. Okay, so the SI unit of electric current is ampere. Okay, suppose that in examination the question will rise from that section ki what is the SI unit of electric current. So we can write in that case ampere like that. SI unit of electric current is ampere. Ampere. Okay, so suppose that if this type of term will arise in the examination, so we can give the answer like that. Okay, and the second thing is ki what do you mean by electric current? How can we define electric current? Suppose in the examination the question will arise from the electric current ki what do you mean by electric current? So here we can explain like that ki the rate of flow of charge. Rate means what? As we people know that the rate means what? With respect to time. Okay, so in many cases you will see there is the use of word rate. So how can you understand? How can you identify what do you mean by rate? So here people can say that in the case of rate here it main terms is with respect to time. So in the case of electric current here we can say that the rate of flow of charge, and in the second case means one another definition. So you have to define the term electric current, that is the flow of charge per unit time. Flow of charge per unit time and the rate of flow of charge, both the statements are same, but there is a quite difference between them. What is the difference between them? And we can say that the difference between them is in the case of rate means if the rate word is used, so in that case there is no need to use the word per unit time. But when you will use the term per unit time, so in that case there is no need to use the word rate. Okay, so that is the difference, that is the quite difference between them. So you have to define the definition of electric current, the rate of flow of charge or the flow of charge per unit time, that is the electric current. And second thing is that the SI unit of electric current is ampere, which is represented by the symbolic formula, that is A. That is A. And one more term is that is charge. So in the symbolic form the charge is represented by Q, and the SI unit of charge is coulomb. And the second thing is time. So people know very well in the CGS system, FPS system, and now the SI system. In these all systems the unit of time is same, that is the second. That is the second. So this is the important segments of your physics. And some important more function. Suppose that if in examination the question lies from the term what is the function of key. So as we know that key, here we can say that key is used for the cut the supply of electric current. So these are all other terms which will play an important role in the electric current. And some important thing like here one more important thing, that is the cell. So as we know that here we can say that the cell will convert the chemical, means here we can say that that is the chemical reaction, that is the chemical reaction, so through which it will generate electricity. Okay, so like that you can explain about the cell. And one more important that key, how can we identify there is a bulb, that bulb is fuse bulb. So generally here we can say that if the electricity is passes through the bulb, but then bulb will not start glowing. Why? Because their filament is broken. Okay, suppose that their filament is broken, it means what? The circuit is incomplete. And if the circuit is incomplete, so when you will try to pass the electric current through them, so how can we say that here the electric current will passes through them? So like that here we can identify and we can explain about these terms. If in examination will ask if what do you mean by the fuse bulb, so how can you identify? So like that you can explain. And one more important thing, that is the handles of some important things which is related to the work. Suppose that one question is telling that a man pushes a mower through a distance of 20 meter in the direction of force, and here we can say that if the force exerted by man is 25 newtons, so what is the value of work? So I already discussed about the work, that is work equals to force into displacement. So generally in the symbolic term here we can say that the work is represented by W and force is the F and displacement is the S. So when we people can apply the formula W equals to F into S. Say here W equals to F into S. So one numerical which is related to this formula, it is telling that there is a mover and a person which applies a force. The magnitude of force is 25 Newton, and when it will apply the force 25 Newtons, then it will get displaces. and it will get displaced through a distance of 20 meter, through a distance of 20 meter. And when we people can apply the formula W equals to F into S, F into S, and here the value of F is given, F is given, the value of F is 25 Newton, and the value of displacement is 20. So when we can put the value of force and displacement, the value of force is 25 Newton and the displacement is 20. So simply here we can say that the value of work is 500 joule. This is the value of work. Okay, so simply this type of simple questions will come in the examination, so you can explain like that, you can solve like that. So here one more important thing, suppose that ki in some cases the value of work is given and force is given but displacement is not given, so here we can find the value of displacement with the help of cross multiplications like that. S equals to W by F, W by F. Okay, so like that you can apply the formula. And one more type, that is ki suppose that in the some cases the value of work is given and displacement is given, and the question will tell provide like that you have to find the value of force. So in that case we can apply the same segments, same process. How can you apply the same process? With the help of cross multiplications. When you will try to find the value of F, when the value of work and displacement is given, so you can write like that, F equals to W by S. So this type of things is very important in the terms of physics. Okay, suppose that symbol will come. So as people know that ki what is the symbol of battery, you know very well. Some symbols are like suppose that battery. So first thing is that what do you mean by battery? So I have already explained about the cell. As you know that the cell with the help of chemical reactions it will generate electricity. So simply the symbol of cell is, we have to represent like that. This is the plus and this is the minus. Okay, so this is the symbol of cell, this is the symbol of cell. And when you will try to represent the symbol of battery, so according to the definition of battery, people know there is a combination of cell. When a two or more than two cells will get combined to each other, then it will form battery. So simply when you will try to draw the symbol of battery, you will take two or more than two cells like that. This is the symbol of battery. Okay, so this type of things will also play an important role in the examination. And one more important term, that is the electromagnet. So generally here we can say that electromagnet, as we know that peoples, in the case of electromagnet is a type of temporary magnets. It's not a permanent magnets, and there is some advantage of electromagnets ki with the help of whatever the kind of a strength as people need. So according to that strength, people can generate the strength of magnets with the help of electromagnets. Okay, some advantage of electromagnets are there. As you know that if you will try to separate some magnetic materials from the garbage, so here we can say that in that case we people can use the electromagnets. So there are the different types of examples which is related to the advantage of electromagnets. As we know that nowadays in a school offices there is the use of electric bell. So that electric bell will also work on the principle of electromagnetic induction, so it's also an advantage of electromagnets. So like that you can write the advantage of electromagnets. One more important thing, that is how can you demagnetize the magnets. So there are several types of factors which is responsible for the demagnetization of magnets. Suppose that when you will drop a magnets from a certain heights, so in that case it will also lose their magnetic strength, magnetic property. And in the second case, suppose that when you will dip the magnets under the water for the long period of time, so in that case it will also lose their magnetic property. By heating also you can observe that when you will try to provide some heat energy to the magnets, so in that case they will also lose their property. So like that you have to write the some important segments which is related to the demagnetization of magnets. Okay, so these all are the important segments which are related to the physics. So we have to revise carefully, and whatever the thing which will come in the examination, so I've already discussed in the class also, and here I will also provided the important segments which is related to these all the segments which will come in the examinations according to your syllabus. So you have to revise nicely, and whatever the thing will come in the examinations, you can also apply your own sense for the giving answer of the respective questions, because nowadays there is no mean to you have to remember each and every lines of the books that will plays an important role in the examination. You have to score the marks by using your own sense, not by giving the bookish language. Okay, so this type of things will plays an important role. So thank you very much, and I'll provide one more part which will give the informations about the chemistry and biology. But in the physics we have to revise this type of things, because this type of things will plays an important role. So thank you very much.